Hi everyone, my name is Mod Fidos from Group 13. Today our group want to talk about the persuasive, the importance of sex education. What do you know about sex education? Sex education is acquiring information about the development of our bodies, sexuality, sex and sex behavior. Sex education aids people to get the information, motivation, abilities to make the right decision about sex and sexuality. Children become aware of their sexuality from a very young age. Thus, most of us do not seem to give it attention or the importance that it deserves. Instead, we get worried to see our 5 years old indulge in game like playing doctor or imitating mommy, daddy that involve sexual related dams. Contemporary Malaysia is still not uncomfortable talking about sex. Parents find it against our social or cultural values to talk about sex of their with children. At the same time, the present age generation has much more explore and much more access to sex-related information from peer group, from magazine, film, and the internet. And unfortunately, 12 they may know a lot about sex, conception, and others related issue. They are still too young to know how to handle both emotion of the physical aspect of sex. First thing, sex education is not just about the act of sex or how we can protect ourselves from unwanted pregnancies. It encompasses a wider perspective including attitude toward the opposite sex, about gender roles, about body change, and about taking responsibilities of our sexual choice and of our sexual partner. It is a positive part of personal health and healthy living. Perhaps it is lack of awareness, unwillingness on the part of parents and teachers to talk to children about sex that we have such high rate of mortality among young mothers during childbirth who are themselves but mere girls who have just stepped into their teens. We have illegal abortion center catering to ignorant adolescent clients who get into a sexual relationship without adequate awareness or preparedness.
Next, we have to agree that in the year of 2022, most information is accessible on the internet, available with a click of our fingertips. We can't hide this topic anymore as teenagers are full of curiosity. If we do not teach them about sex the right way, they will eventually find it on the internet through manners that are not so good. Some people I know might be against this, thinking that if students knew about sex education, they might attempt the act itself. However, you don't learn how to buckle a car seat belt to eventually get yourself into an accident, but you learn it to avoid injuries and warn yourself to drive carefully. This psychology method implies the same on sex education. We don't learn it to become a sex offender, but to always remind ourselves. Therefore, those against this education must learn how to come to terms with it, as resistance oftentimes imply that they have not went through sexual education themselves.
Furthermore, sex education can protect children and teenagers from sexual abuse problems. Victims of sexual abuse do not do the report because of cases due to the humiliation or fear of doing the report. They may lack of understanding about sex abuse. The abuser brainwash the victims into do not do the report. Sex education will give them the guidance to take when they are being abused. the children and teenagers will learn that everyone has right to say no means no. Children and teenagers should learning acknowledgeable awareness of sex education.
In conclusion, what we get from the sex education? Sex education is extremely necessary for teenagers to be informed and make the right decision. Teens need the opportunity to make choice considering all the factors involved, and with sex education they get the opportunity. Teens are more likely engaged in sexual activity anyway, so it is better if they have their facts straight. This way they don't go in blind. Sex and sexuality can be scary to teens when they are uncertain. The public should encourage the PTA to make a campaign to promote safe sex in all schools. Should get on board with it. It can be something small like hiring actual expert on the subject, so teens get their information from a good source. It can also be parents willing to teach their children the basics of safe sex. The change starts with us. So that's all from me about sex education. Thank you.